Good day everyone. For this video, I will going to have a demonstration about materials for teaching grammar. I hope you will watch until the end of this video and I hope you can learn on this. Before we're going to start our discussion this morning, I will first show you some picture. The first picture, you can see that there is a girl who is running. And the second picture is, you can see that there is a little boy who is reading a book. And the third picture, you can see that there is a girl who is eating. And those pictures that I have shown to you is an example of a verb. When we talk about a verb, the verb is a word that shows an action, occurrence, or a state of being. This very morning, I will going to discuss to you about the three basic tenses of the verb. And that are the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Let's move on to the past tense. The past tense, the verb is already done, or the action is already done by the doer. For example, sat, ate, flew, threw, and jump. And those words are the example of the past tense. And let us use those words on a sentence. Here are some examples. Number 1. Christian sat on the floor. The verb on that sentence is sat. Second example. The doctor ate the delicious food. The verb on that sentence is ate. And the last example is Martin threw the garbage outside the house. The verb on that sentence is threw. The second basic tenses of the verb is the present tense. The present tense, the verb is in the present tense if the action is currently done by the doer or subject or the subject. And remember, this is always ends with ing. And here are some examples. Sitting, eating, throwing, flying, and lastly, jumping. Let us use this word in a sentence. Number 1. Christian is sitting on the floor. The verb on that sentence is sitting. The second example is the doctor is eating the delicious food. The verb on that sentence is eating. And the last example is Martin is throwing the garbage outside the house. The verb on that sentence is throwing. And let's move on to the last part of the three basic tenses. And that is the future tense. Future tense, when we talk about future tense, the verb on this tense is not yet done but will be done in the future. And we will always remember that this is always accompanied with shall and will. And these are some examples of it. Shall sat, will eat, shall fly, will jump, and shall do. Let us use those words in a sentence. The first example. Christian will sit on the floor. The verb on that sentence is will sit. And the second example is the doctor shall eat the delicious food. The verb in that sentence is shall eat. And the last example is Martin will throw the garbage outside the house. The verb on that sentence is will throw. And those are the three basic tenses of the verb. And let us review what is the three basic tenses of the verb, and that are the past tense, present tense, and future tense. Let us have first an activity. In this activity, you will going to determine the verb in the sentence and what tense it is belong. Without further ado, let's start the activity. Number 1. Angela watched TV yesterday. Number 2. Mark danced at the party last night. Number 3. They sleep in the afternoon. Number 4. John talks very fast. Number 5. Gina will write an email after lunch. Number 6, the last number. Jonas shall dance to the party tomorrow. Let's correct your works. Let us see if your answer is correct. Let's go to number 1. Angela watched TV yesterday. What do you think is the verb on that sentence? You're correct. The verb of that sentence is watch. And what tenses of the verb is watch? You are correct. Watch is past tense of a verb. And let's move on to number 2. Number 2 sentence is Mark danced at the party last night. What do you think is the verb on that sentence? You are correct. Dance is the verb on that sentence. And what do you think is the tenses is dance belong? You are correct. Dance is a past tense of a verb. It's an example of the past tense of the verb. And let's move on to number 3. Number 3 sentence is they sleep in the afternoon. I will repeat. They sleep in the afternoon. What do you think is the verb used in that sentence? You are correct. Sleep is the verb used in that sentence. And sleep is belong to what tenses of the verb? You are correct. Sleep is a present tense of a verb. And let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is John talks very fast. What is the verb used in that sentence? You are correct. Talks is the verb used in that sentence. And talks is belong to what tenses of the verb? You are correct again. Talk is a present tense of a verb. And let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is Gina will write an email after lunch. I will repeat. Gina will write an email after lunch. What do you think is the verb on that sentence? You are correct. Will write is the verb on that sentence. Since will write is what tenses of the verb it belong? You are correct again. Will write is belong to the future tense since it is accompanied with what? Will. Very good. Let's move on to the last number. Juna shall dance to the party tomorrow. What verb is used in that sentence? You are correct. Shall dance. And what tenses of the verb it is belong? You are correct again. Shall dance is belong to future tense since it is accompanied with what? Shall. Very good. I hope you'd learned something for today's lesson and thank you for watching and God bless you.